to polls on Monday, and let's get you the latest on when the campaigning has ended. There's a silent period on now from different parts of the country. For the moment, I'm told we're joined by Dibyendu Mondal, my colleague who's in Krishnanagar, West Bengal, and Mark Lynn is also with us, joining us from Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. Good evening to you both, Mark and Dibyendu. Let me come to you first. Well, contrary to the three previous phases, Dibyendu, a larger chunk of 8 seats are going to polls in West Bengal in phase 4. As there's more at stake in this phase, did the campaigning see higher intensity building up to its close this evening?
Well, good evening, Gautam. That's right. 8 seats going to polls in this phase of the elections in West Bengal. This is the highest, as you rightly said, since the last 3 phases of elections in West Bengal. Of course, high stakes in this particular phase. Of course, the campaigning was also had also intensified, and we had witnessed high decibel campaigns across all the constituencies that are going to polls here in West Bengal. In fact, all the 8 big names: Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, also Yusuf Pathan from the Trinamool Congress, Mahua Moitro again from the Trinamool Congress, the BJP's former state president Dilip Ghosh contesting from the Bardhaman Durgapur constituency, Queen Mother Amrita Roy from this particular constituency in Krishnanagar. So of course, big names contesting in this particular phase of election in West Bengal. So of course, high decibel campaigns. While we were closing the campaign this evening, I was in Baharampur, where I witnessed a massive roadshow by the Trinamool Congress's Yusuf Pathan. In the morning today in Baharampur, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary and the BJP's candidate Dr. Nirmal Shah had come face to face during a roadshow, and the gesture that they had shown was of course something that today's politics in West Bengal really lack. Both greeted each other, showered petals on each other, wishing them all the best in this last phase of campaigning that closed this evening. So of course, these dramatic scenes of campaigning in West Bengal, not really heard of in a very long time. Because Gautam, you also covered West Bengal over the last 2 phases. How bloody the elections have been over the last couple of years. Of course, these kind gestures amongst politicians in West Bengal is rare, but that was really dramatic. Back to you.
Sounds good. Now, Siddharth is also with us, joining us from, I believe, from Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh. Siddharth, on what kind of a high note did the campaigning for the 13 seats in Uttar Pradesh in phase 4 end? The BJP won them all the last time around. Will it be smooth sailing this time as well, or is the opposition giving it a run for its money with Samajwadi Party's Akhilesh Yadav himself in the parade from Kannauj?
Well, a very good evening to you, Gautam, and you said it right, at 30 seats which are up for grabs in the 4th phase of the general elections 2024 here in Uttar Pradesh. BJP won all the seats last time around, but it's very difficult to say that whether it's a smooth sailing for the BJP or they will give the run for the money to the opposition, because the campaigning, as far as the campaigning is concerned, then the campaigning was happening in full swing here, and it reached, in fact, its crescendo before it ended. Now it's a silent period which is going on. As far as BJP is concerned, Gautam, then during the campaigning they promised different things. They said that we have worked for every section of the society. We have given the rights to every section of the society, including the PM Awas Yojana or Ujjwala Yojana, the scheme, the initiative which is providing clean cooking fuel to the women, especially in the rural areas. And on the other hand, Congress said that if they'll come to power, they'll give 1 lakh rupee to women each year, and also there will be certain section of quota which will be reserved for women as far as the government jobs are concerned. So both the parties, campaigned in full swing here in the region, especially where I am in Kanpur, Gautam, where the battle primarily is between the BJP and the India Alliance. As far as you just mentioned that Samajwadi Party's Akhilesh Yadav is also contesting from Kannauj. It will be very interesting to see as to who will uncork the smell of victory from the other capital of India. Back to you.
Well, last time his wife lost, but maybe he'll have better luck this time. Who knows? Mark is also with us, joining us from Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. Mark, evening, and how is the battle for the South poised in Andhra Pradesh? All Lok Sabha and also state assembly seats are for grabs there. To what extent did this add to the campaigning intensity?
Well, Gautam, clearly the campaigning has been very intense, and right up to the last minute. I was traveling today, and I traveled to the neighboring constituencies near Visakhapatnam, that's Vijayanagaram and Srikakulam, and along the way I saw a lot of campaigning for both the Lok Sabha as well as the assembly segments, and there was a lot of life in the campaign. People, trying to reach out. There were even restrictions on the road as a result of that. But clearly, making every last effort to reach out to the voter right up to the very end. But after that, of course, things have now, the silence period is on, and people are beginning to think as to what they should be doing with their votes. And I've spoken to a lot of people about whether they would be voting, and they said very much so. They're likely to come out to vote. This state has had very high voter percentage in the past, about 80% in the 2019 elections, and they have a number of issues on their minds. They want development of the state. They want to see a better future for themselves. But clearly there are various projects that are already started. They want to see them being completed. There is, of course, the fear that, whether one party comes to power, whether those projects will be, put on the back burner or not. These are things that are in the minds of some people. But on the other hand, there are people who felt that there's not enough that has been done, and they are looking for change. So it is a very, very tight race here. 50-50 is what most people are saying across the entire state. So it's going to be a very, very close contest in this election, and that we saw that in the intensity of the campaign as well, Gautam.
All right, let me come back to you, Devendu. Now, these West Bengal seats have quite a few high-profile candidates. You mentioned some of them as well, particularly for both the Trinamool as well as the Congress party. So, to what extent was the campaigning influenced by this factor?
Well, Gautam, that's right. This particular phase has many high-profile candidates, as I mentioned earlier. Before this, Yusuf Pathan from the Trinamool Congress, even Kirti Azad, another former cricketer, is contesting on a Trinamool ticket against the former BJP president of West Bengal, Dilip Ghosh, from the Bardhaman Durgapur Lok Sabha constituency. Here, even Shatrughan Sinha is seeking re-election from the controversial Asansol seat. And why I say controversial is because the BJP had named Bhojpuri singer Pawan Singh as the candidate, but later had to withdraw after he embroiled himself into controversies with his songs. Now SS Ahluwalia, who was the candidate from Durgapur Bardhaman seat, has been moved to Asansol. So of course, high stake battles in this particular phase of election. The issues, Gautam, if I may delve into that, corruption, unemployment, non-industrialization are some of the key issues that puts the Trinamool Congress on a back foot. On the other hand, what puts the Trinamool Congress playing on the front foot is, of course, the social welfare scheme of the Lakshmi Bhandar, where every woman in this particular state of West Bengal is given 1,000 rupees each every month. So of course, this scheme amongst the women voters, and I've been speaking to a couple of them over the last many days, and of course I have been knowing this fact that this particular scheme of the Mamata Banerjee government has gone down really well with the women voters specifically here, and there are many other welfare schemes of the Mamata government here in Bengal, which perhaps could work in favor of the Trinamool Congress government. But of course, the BJP is leaving no stone unturned to attack and corner the Trinamool Congress here in Bengal with regards to the corruption, cut money, the muscle men, the syndicate system here that exists in the Bengal politics. Of course, interesting times ahead. Back to you.
Yes, that's what the people talk about. And I found that in phase 1 and phase 3 as well in West Bengal when I went to the state to cover those phases. Lesser seats at that time, this time even more. Now, Siddharth, what kind of issues have been occupying the mind space of voters building up to polling day in the MP seats that you visited? Are they national, regional, local, or the ones that kind of popped up during the canvassing period?
Gautam, I can tell you about where I am right now. It's Kanpur constituency, which comprises of 5 Vidhan Sabha segments. One is Govind Nagar, then you have Kidwai Nagar. You also have Kanpur cantonment. So these are all the segments. Sismau as well. These are all the segments this constituency comprises of. And also, as far as the key issues are concerned, Gautam, then earlier in the day, I'm here since 2 days, and earlier in the day when we had a word with the residents, they say that the pressing issues are number 1 unemployment and number 2 inflation. They want they want that the government should work in these 2 particular sectors, and that's why they are casting their ballot on May 13. As far as the political battle is concerned here in this constituency, then the battle, like I said, primarily is between the BJP and the India Alliance. And interestingly, this time around, both the candidates are fresh faces. BJP has fielded Ramesh Avasthi, and India Alliance Congress candidate is Alok Mishra. So this is how the political battle, is taking shape here in this particular region. During the campaigning, like I said, the government, different both political parties were trying to woo the voters and on different promises, but by the end of the day, it's the voters who will be deciding as to who will be representing this particular constituency when they'll be casting their ballot on May 13, and the results for the same will be out on June 4. But the political battle seems very interesting here.
Certainly.
In 2019, if I compare, then Satyadev Pachuri, who's the sitting MP here, defeated Sri Prakash Jaiswal, and this time around there are fresh faces. So with fresh faces comes fresh challenges as well, and it will be, like I said, ultimately.
Again, we'll have to say which way it goes, Siddharth. Let me come to Mark now. Mark, what kind of political dynamics have been at play in Andhra Pradesh? Could you tell us about that as well? Because the ruling party had tacitly been supporting the centre the last 5 years, but now they're at opposite ends.
Well, Gautam, to be very honest, any party that is going to be ruling in the state of Andhra Pradesh will have to support the centre to get the best deal for the state, because it sees itself as a new state. It sees itself as a state that needs the support of the centre for development. In fact, one of the key issues has been that it required a special category status. That most people feel that that's not coming, but they did want some sort of special packages for the state. Hence, the support to the centre was always very necessary. But if we look at the dynamics here, we can see that there are 454 candidates for the 25 seats in the Lok Sabha, and there are 2,387 candidates for the 175 seats to the Assembly. But in 2019, the YSRCP that won the election won 49% of the vote share, and the TDP won 40% of the vote share. And if we add the JSP, which is its alliance this time, they had 5 or 6% of the vote share. So, and then the BJP with about 2% of the vote share. So that accounts for 97% of the vote share amongst these parties itself. So we can clearly see that they are the force to reckon with. That it is a clear fight between these two groups. Though, of course, the India Alliance is contesting all the 175 seats and all the 25 Lok Sabha seats. One can't run them out because the Congress has come to power in the state of Telangana, and there may be some spillover effect of that in the state of Andhra Pradesh, especially since YS Sharmila has been made the president of the party in in the state of Andhra Pradesh, and she's the sister of Jagan Mohan Reddy. So hoping to, bring back the old Congress that the YSRCP actually came out of. So this is the dynamics at play underneath, but if you talk to people on the street, they see this as a clear 50-50 contest between the YSRCP and the NDA alliance.
All right.
Back to you, Gautam.
Okay, let's see how things go in terms of the turnout and the rest when it comes to polling day, because that has also been a huge topic of discussion this elections, the marginal decrease in turnout, 3-4% that we've been seeing the last three phases. Whether that persists through the fourth, that will be another talking point, but we'll leave that for another day. Thanks a lot for joining us for the moment, all three of you. And still to come on DD India NewsHour. Israel orders